Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a zombie horror film, Miss Zombie. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins on an ominous note as we hear a hunter named Shady talking on the phone about a delivery that he has sent. He tells the person on the phone that the delivery will take a few days to reach its destination. Hunter Shady also explains that the package is docile, but at the same time, it should not be fed meat under any condition. While Hunter Shady talks on the phone, we can see him stepping over some smelly flesh and garbage. He continues by saying he has sent a pistol along with the package, in case there is an emergency. Now Hunter Shady cuts the call, and that's when we learn that he has been bitten during his zombie hunt. He laments his shitty life, and then the scene shifts to a house, where a man delivers the package and has the delivery note signed by the receiver, who is a doctor. After the delivery man leaves, Doctor tells his two guards to open the package, which is a huge crate. It reveals a cage, which has a sexy woman inside it, named Miss Zombie. Doctor, his wife short-named Wifey, and their son notice that Miss Zombie is unresponsive. The son takes a picture of Miss Zombie, but Wifey tells him not to be rash. Along with Miss Zombie are a set of instructions, which state the same things said earlier by Hunter Shady. Miss Zombie is not to be given any meat, as she might turn feral, and if that ever happens, then she needs to be shot with the pistol provided with the package. Doctor realizes the danger of Miss Zombie, so he says that she needs to be kept in a different space. He tells the two guards to make sure she is sent to a cabin away from here, and then he walks away. Now, we see Miss Zombie sewing her skin together as if she's a normal person, after which she notices a photograph of herself while she was a pregnant human. This makes her emotional, and she puts her hand on her belly, trying to remember the time she had a child inside it. The next day, Doctor's son plays around with his mother by taking a picture of her, but their fun and games are interrupted when an elder shows up slowly to ask about Miss Zombie. Doctor tries to console the elder and explains that Miss Zombie is not deadly because she has a low zombie virus count as compared to other zombies. Doctor also shows him the gun to reassure him of protective measures, so he allows the family to keep Miss Zombie as a pet for more observations. After the elder gets lost with his old body, Doctor tells his two guards to go dress up Miss Zombie's body, so they get to work. The guards give her the dress and tell her to wear it quickly, after which they have a discussion with each other. The two guards are also confused by the idea of having a zombie in the house, and we learn that Hunter Shady was actually a friend of Doctor. Apparently, Hunter Shady wanted to make a business out of selling harmless zombies as pets, because he felt this was the future of humanity. The guards have a brief chat about the idea, and then we move to Wifey, who comes in front of Miss Zombie. She is calm and composed, and even asks Miss Zombie to start scrubbing the dirty floor. Miss Zombie is not violent at all, and she listens to Wifey without even flinching. Miss Zombie cleans the floor, and then we see Doctor, who is in his cabin. He takes a look at the gun, and then he goes through some documents for business. Now, one of the guards notices that Miss Zombie is not using water for her scrubbing, so he tries to explain it. She doesn't respond to him, so he plays a cruel prank and tells her to use the water. Miss Zombie continues scrubbing, and the guard also takes a peep at her zombified but still sexy body. Now, Wifey gets done reading a story to her son, and then she goes to check up on Miss Zombie. To her surprise, she is able to operate the water jet with ease, after only being told about it once. Wifey is shocked to see this, and then she goes to prepare a meal for Miss Zombie. However, Doctor shows up and tells her not to feed Miss Zombie anything fresh. Wifey is also instructed not to give her any meat, so she complies to her doctor husband. Later, Wifey gives Miss Zombie her food, and even thanks her for the good work. However, the son shows up to take a picture with his flash camera. Miss Zombie simply walks away as Wifey chases after her son. But then, she gets bullied by a group of kids who throw stones at her. On her way to the cabin, Miss Zombie is attacked and stabbed by some goons, but she doesn't feel a thing because of her zombie muscles. She finally reaches the cabin and places her food on the table, after which she pulls out the knife from her body. Miss Zombie proceeds to eat some of the fruits and seems to enjoy her meal. She then shows off her zombified but still sexy body and feels her wound, almost as if she is a human. The next day, Miss Zombie walks to her place of work, although she is as slow as a tortoise. Wifey spots Miss Zombie and tries to exchange some zombie greetings with her, but she is given the cold shoulder. Miss Zombie also ignores the guards and proceeds with her scrubbing. But then, we see the son taking pictures with his camera. Miss Zombie doesn't react when the son takes a picture of her, so she seems to be in check. However, the guard gets a hold of the picture, and it reveals Miss Zombie's smelly ass. The son is scolded by the other guard for being a creep, but he doesn't care about his bullshit. Miss Zombie does a good job and takes her food, but she doesn't respond to wifey when she says goodbye. She reaches home, but has another knife lodged inside her body, which means that the goons are regularly attacking her on her way to the cabin. However, life must go on, so Miss Zombie goes to work the next day, although she is still unable to talk, not even like a chicken. As she continues her scrubbing, Doctor is shown getting distracted in the middle of his work. Now we shift to the two guards, both of whom cannot take their horny eyes off Miss Zombie. It's a creepy sequence, but nobody is there to tell the guards to behave. Once she's done with the scrubbing, Miss Zombie slowly walks towards a corner space all by herself. She notices some sunlight and walks towards it, but the two guards are shown waiting for her like predators. As expected, the nasty guards launch a hormone assault on Miss Zombie, hoping to make lots of zombie babies with her. 2 minutes later, as expected, one of the guards gets out first, feeling exhausted. He sees Doctor approaching, so he runs away like a scared goose. However, Doctor sees what his other guard is doing to Miss Zombie and watches on like a peeping Tom. Miss Zombie is unaffected by their harassment, and she goes back home, after which she places one more knife on her table. The next day, she comes to work, and everything seems normal as the guards don't say anything at all. However, Doctor knows what he saw, and he is haunted by the sick actions of his twisted guards. But there is no time for him to curse his nasty guards as they come running to the house with the son, who is unconscious. Wifey is shocked to see her son in this state and panics after learning that he had fallen into the pond while playing next to it. Wifey tries her best to wake up her son, but it's of no use as he seems to have gone to meet Jesus in heaven. Shattered and paranoid, Wifey rushes towards Miss Zombie and grabs her arm, after which she takes her to the son and orders Miss Zombie to bite her son so that he can be brought back to life. This is not a good idea, as Miss Zombie is not supposed to eat meat, but Wifey refuses to listen to reason. Doctor walks in and tries to stop the madness, but he is pushed aside by Wifey. He then stabs Miss Zombie, trying to stop her, but it's too late because the son has come back to life from his heaven trip, but now as a zombie. Wifey tries to hug her son, but he hugs Miss Zombie instead, seeking motherly love from his zombie mama. This angers Wifey, so she grabs her son and hugs him out of forced human love. Afterward, the zombie son is taken care of by Wifey, but he doesn't seem to eat anything. Then we see Miss Zombie caressing her wounds. She's able to feel emotions again because of what happened with the hug. Now, Doctor walks into the room and tries to apologize for stabbing her sexy body earlier. However, his apology turns into desire, and he proceeds to engage in some zombified hormone yoga with Miss Zombie. But the cheating doctor doesn't realize that his wife is standing there and watching him in disbelief. Anyway, Miss Zombie walks back home and has to fight through some more stones thrown at her by the annoying kids. She is still thinking about the hug she received and ignores the goons who stab her in the exactly same spot one more time. Miss Zombie comes back home and pulls out the knife, after which she starts to feel her humanity coming back to her body. She can also hear whispers in her head, and the scene grows darker with each passing second. The next day, Wifey sees Miss Zombie coming to work, but doesn't want to exchange zombie greetings with her this time because she knows what her husband has been doing to her. Miss Zombie scrubs the floor just like any other day. But this time, the zombie son is standing in front of her because he believes that this is his zombie mom. Wifey orders her zombie son to stay away from Miss Zombie, and he does as he's told. Meanwhile, Doctor reads up on the zombie virus because he wants to learn more about making zombie babies. Now, Wifey starts to daydream while holding the water hose, but the zombie son passes out from hunger. The couple tries to wake their son up, but it's of no use. That's when Miss Zombie shows up and slices Wifey's hand, allowing her blood to drip into the zombie son's mouth. Since he is a zombie, he wakes up after that, and it makes Wifey wonder if her son is a lost cause. Doctor tries to console his wife using only words, but not muscles, by saying that their son is simply in shock and has not become a zombie. However, Wifey sees Miss Zombie roaming around with her zombie son following after. At night, Miss Zombie finally loses her sense of patience and brings out a kitchen knife. She regains her speed and attacks one of the goons, who keeps stabbing her on her way home. The next day is peaceful and quiet, but then the zombie son sneaks away to meet Miss Zombie. Here, she gives him some blood, which she has taken from her victim of the previous night. Then, she resumes her work, while the two guards watch her smelly ass, while pretending to guard her body against any harassment. Wifey has a nightmare about Miss Zombie going away with her son, and then we see Doctor admiring Miss Zombie's body from a distance. The scrubbing sounds intensify in Wifey's mind, as we see Miss Zombie bonding with the son over his camera and some photographs. Wifey is no longer friendly with Miss Zombie, so Doctor gives her the food and acts shady by massaging her arm. The annoying kids are ready to attack her with their stones, but Miss Zombie looks at them with rage in her eyes, so they don't bother her. At night, we see that Miss Zombie has collected a lot of bodies and is using their blood to feed the zombie son. The next day, Doctor peeks at Miss Zombie with creepy desire and whistles at her with muscular intent. Miss Zombie responds to Doctor and follows him to a room for more hormone yoga. However, Wifey smells their bad hormones and chases after her, even though she is weak from the trauma of losing her son. Here, Wifey witnesses Doctor taking care of Miss Zombie by stitching up her bruised skin, which means he has fallen in love with her. She stares at Miss Zombie with jealousy and loses her mind. Feeling frustrated over the fact that she's losing her family to a sexy zombie, Wifey angrily chops some meat. Miss Zombie is cleaning the floor nearby, so Wifey drops some meat, hoping that she will eat it. Miss Zombie doesn't eat the meat and offers it back to her, but Wifey cuts it to tempt her with the blood. Doctor walks in and sees this, so he storms away in anger, and Wifey chases after him. She eventually finds a box, which is filled with photos of Miss Zombie and her zombie son. This shocks Wifey, so she decides to take drastic measures. She goes to retrieve the pistol, which was sent with Miss Zombie's package, but doesn't know how to use it, and she accidentally shoots her husband, who has just entered the room. Wifey goes crazy, and Miss Zombie hugs the zombie son, after which she takes him away. The roles have now been reversed, as Wifey goes on a rampage killing the two guards, while Miss Zombie and the zombie son escape from her. An intense chase follows, and we see Miss Zombie showing emotions on her face. A flashback shows us how Miss Zombie was once a happy, pregnant girl with her husband, but she was attacked by an army of zombies. Her husband tried to help her, but he got attacked and became a zombie as well. Miss Zombie had managed to escape the zombies, and she even went to the hospital to give birth, but ended up delivering a stillborn. The flashback continues to show how Hunter Shady captured Miss Zombie and turned her into a pet by making her a zombie slave for his business. Then, we're back to the present, where Miss Zombie is still being chased by Wifey, who's now acting far more violent than a real zombie. The film suddenly changes to color, signifying some hope for Miss Zombie. She even trips and falls, allowing Wifey to take aim at her. But the zombie son helps Miss Zombie and takes her way. This makes Wifey go crazy, so she cries in a chicken voice and shoots herself, ending her shitty life. The zombie son sees this and rushes to Wifey, hoping to revive her. He is unable to bite Wifey, so Miss Zombie arrives and takes a chunk out of her flesh. This finally turns Wifey into a zombie, and she instantly hugs her zombie son. The film changes to black and white again, meaning that Miss Zombie has no more hope for finding happiness in this life, as her desire to have a child can no longer be fulfilled. The movie ends with Miss Zombie taking the gun and shooting herself, so that she can meet the zombie lord and ask for real zombie babies from him. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.